Hi there and welcome to Tech Life, a channel where I aim to review everything from selfie sticks to laptops to IDs for coding, video editing, software for producing thumbnails, essentially anything tech related. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you have anything that you think I should review, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to review that product. This video is going to be a quick tutorial on ChatGPT. I will attempt to explain what ChatGPT is, how to register for it, and also how to use it. ChatGPT stands for Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It is a chatbot which uses artificial intelligence. ChatGPT was launched on November 30th, 2022 by a company called OpenAI and quickly drew the attention of thousands of people all around the world for its detailed and articulate responses from across many different domains of knowledge. By December the 4th, OpenAI estimated it already had 1 million users. It is built on top of OpenAI's GPT-3 family of language models and is fine-tuned with both supervised and reinforced learning. In order to train the bot, ChatGPT was fine-tuned using supervised learning as well as reinforced learning as mentioned. Supervised learning is a machine learning paradigm for problems where available data consists of labeled examples. Reinforced learning is an area of machine learning concerned with how intelligent agents ought to take actions in an environment in order to maximize the notion of cumulative reward. The models were trained in collaboration with Microsoft on their Azure supercomputing infrastructure. The core function of the chatbot is to mimic human conversations. It can, however, be used to do things like write computer programs, debug computer programs, compose music, write song lyrics, write fairy tales or short stories, write essays, and even answer test questions. Unlike most chatbots, ChatGPT remembers previous prompts given to it in the same conversation. ChatGPT has built-in functions to prevent it from returning racist or sexist or offensive responses, and the service works best in English. The New York Times has labeled ChatGPT the best artificial intelligence chatbot ever released to the general public, and the Guardian newspaper in the UK has noted that it was able to generate impressively detailed and human-like text. In order to use ChatGPT, we have to first register. In order to do that, we can either do a Google search for OpenAI, or we can type in openai.com in the address bar up here. Let's just go ahead and do a Google search OpenAI. So the very first result found, openai.com, is the one we're interested in. Let this load, and then ChatGPT is located at the top of this page. Introducing ChatGPT research release. We do a single click on that. Okay, so on this page we have the option to either log in or sign up. Obviously, if it's the first time we're going to be using ChatGPT, then we need to sign up, so we click the sign up button. And we can use an email address here to sign up, so I'm going to use one of my email addresses. .com, and we have to prove to this chatbot that we are not a robot. I'm not a robot. I'm clicking this. Traffic lights. So here we find the traffic lights. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all the ones I can see. Verify. Click the continue button. And now it's prompting us to enter a password. And this will be the password that we use to log back into ChatGPT, so make a note of it. I'm just going to write mine down. Your password must contain 8 characters. I think it does. Continue. Don't save. Checks your connection, and then it prompts you to tell you that an email has been sent to your email, and you need to go to there in order to verify your email address. So if we head over to our inbox, we should have an email here. OpenAI email. And then we simply click the verify email address over here. That takes a second or two, and then it asks us for a few more details. So you go ahead and type in your first and last name, Tech Life, and you have to enter your telephone number. This is quite important because ChatGPT uses a two-factor authentication, and it will send you a code to the telephone number that you type in here, and you have to use that code in order to log in. So I'm gonna stop recording for 2 seconds while I enter my telephone number. Okay, once you've typed in your telephone number, a code will be sent to your SMS messaging service. Go ahead and find that code. And type that in here, so it's 597 597 556. Okay, it's saying we're experiencing exceptionally high demand. Please hang tight as we work on scaling our systems. Yep, we can certainly do that. So this is ChatGPT. Here on the left hand side we've got a sidebar with some menus. The most useful of these is actually this menu right at the top here called New Chat, and I'll explain to you how we use that. There's another one down here called Dark Mode, and that toggles between this really bright background and then the slightly darker backgrounds. I think, to be honest, I actually prefer the slightly darker background, so I'm gonna leave it on this setting. Okay, so this is ChatGPT, and we've already mentioned the sidebar over here with its menus. A few other things to mention and notes. Firstly, it's totally free at the moment. ChatGPT is totally free, and it's used for research purposes at the moment, but going forward they will start to charge and make some money off the service. Also, please note, anything you type into the inbox here can sometimes be reviewed by an actual human person, so I wouldn't recommend you type anything sensitive or personal in here. Things like bank account details, home addresses, telephone numbers, refrain from entering those into there. In the middle over here we can see ChatGPT have given us, or OpenAI sorry, have given us some examples that can get us started quickly. They've also outlined some of the capabilities of the chatbot, and they've also outlined some of the limitations of the bot. Okay, so let's get started. Let's try something quite simple first and ask ChatGPT what is 15 plus 6. And so we're asking ChatGPT what is 15 plus 6, and that's a question but we're posing to the chatbot. We can either hit a return button or we can click the arrow icon over here. So it's saying 15 plus 6 is 21, which is correct. We can click this button here, regenerate response, and if I just go ahead and click that, it's probably easier to show you than explain. So it said it in a different way this time. It's saying 15 plus 6 equals 21, so it's returned it more as a mathematical equation. And you might notice on the side over here it's got 2 of 2, so we've asked it 2 questions and it's returned 2 answers, and we can toggle through these. So that was the first one, 15 plus 6 equals 21, with a full stop at the end. And then it's taken the full stop away, so it's, instead of writing it as a text or a sentence, it's actually written it as a mathematical equation. We could do that again, regenerate response, and it might return a different. Oh, okay, so it's just going around in circles now. Okay, so that's mathematics. And again, you have to bear in mind ChatGPT is designed for text generation as opposed to calculations and mathematics. Over here on the right hand side, we can provide feedback to OpenAI. So if we particularly like one of these answers, we can give it a thumbs up. What would the ideal answer have been? Let's just provide some feedback. That was the ideal answer. And answer, if I can spell this properly. Submit feedback. So we can continue with this conversation. Every question we ask without resetting the chat becomes a conversation. So ChatGPT remembers or stores the question and answers that are given in one particular conversation, and this conversation can be pages and pages long. Until you actually start a new chat, then you can continue adding to this current chat. So you could ask it something like, you could ask it how good, how good is OpenAI at maths? Question mark. And like I said, you can hit return, or you can hit the return key, or you can click on this icon over here. Let's hit return. How good is OpenAI at maths? It's having a little think about it, and it's saying OpenAI is a company that specializes in developing artificial intelligence machines, learning technologies, and not in doing maths. However, the mathematical capabilities of the models developed by OpenAI, such as ChatGPT, are quite good. So it's been quite modest. Okay, let's continue with this particular conversation. We can confuse ChatGPT by insisting that 15 plus 6 is equal to 22. I apologize, you are correct. My previous answer was incorrect. So you can quite easily fool it into thinking that it's actually provided the wrong answer. So if we now ask ChatGPT what 15 plus 6 is, 15 plus 6 is returning 21. Okay, the first couple of times I did this a week or two ago, it was actually insisting that 15 plus 6 is 22 because I told it that 15 plus 6 was 22. So that just shows that the more people that use the chat and the more questions that are asked, the better it's getting at learning. So let's ask it again. Is 15 plus 6 equal to 22? Yes, it is. So it's still slightly confused, but as I say, the more data that's entered into this, the bigger the database gets, the more the bot learns and the less mistakes it will make. We could ask it other stuff as well in relation to maths. What is pi to 10? Let's see more places. Well, even though it says it's not designed for mathematics, it's quite good at returning mathematical values. Okay, let's move on. And let's move away from mathematics. So I'm going to create a new, I'm going to start a new conversation. So in order to get rid of the current conversation, you click new chat. We can ask it something like, I want to cook something with chicken. Can you give me 10 dishes? Question mark. And it lists out 10 potential dishes that you could use chicken to cook with. So we've got chicken parmesan, chicken masala, grilled chicken, chicken pot pie. Good selection of chicken dishes there. And you can continue this conversation by asking, can I have a shopping list for the first 3? So that's a shopping list for chicken parmesan. Another shopping list for chicken masala, and if I scroll down, a shopping list for grilled chicken. Note that some of the items on this list, such as salt and pepper, are likely already in your pantry. Yep, that's true. Excellent. And again, we could continue this conversation and ask it something like, what are the cooking steps for chicken masala, I'm gonna say. Copy that. Here are the steps for making chicken masala. So it gives us a list of ingredients: 4 boneless skinless chicken breasts, salt and pepper to taste, half a cup of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons butter, etc. Oh, 1 cup masala wine. That's a new one. I've never cooked chicken masala with masala wine. Not too sure what that is. Anyway, so that shows some of the strengths that ChatGPT has. You can literally ask it anything and it'll have some sort of meaningful response. Okay, let's clear this conversation and we can try something else. Let's maybe have a look at one of these examples. Let's have a look at how do I make a HTTP request in JavaScript. So if we click that and then click the little arrow, it gives us an explanation of how to go about creating the response, the request, sorry, and then it actually types out the code, and then it explains what the code is doing. So there are several ways to make a HTTP request in JavaScript, but the most common method is to use XML HTML request object, which is built into most modern web browsers. So it gives us an example in code. Alternative, so it gives us an alternative way to do it as well. Alternatively, you can use fetch method, which is available in modern web browsers, and then it gives us a bit of code for that as well. And it also gives us a third way of doing things. In all cases, response will be stored in the response text property, so it explains what the response is and how we can get hold of that response. You have to bear in mind that you can't simply just cut and paste the code into your existing application or potential application. You do have to go in and obviously make changes to certain parts of it in order for it to work correctly. And if we click this regenerate response, it's probably going to come up with the same 3 examples, to be honest. There's several ways to make. Okay, so it's come up with the fetch one first. There are several ways to make HTTP request in JavaScript. The most commonly used methods are the fetch, so it's come up with the fetch one. We can stop generating this and we can ask it to maybe update one of these. So I'm going to say update the fetch request to collect population data in London. Let's see what it does with this. fetch request will retrieve the latest PM 2.5 air quality measurements in London. I'm not too sure why it's bringing back air quality. Update the fetch request to collect population data in London. So it's probably misunderstood on what I meant, but it does attempt to add those additional attributes into the fetch request. Let's give it another go. Let's say update the fetch request to collect weather data in the UK. Okay, so it's actually doing a slightly better job of this one. It's actually gone and put in the first line here. It's actually recommending that you use a weather API of some description. Obviously you'd have to verify that this is actually a working API in order for you to be able to get hold of that data, and then the rest of the code is similar to what it returned for the previous fetch request. Again, you can see how versatile it is, and even though you couldn't simply cut and paste this into your code, this would give you the nuts and bolts of how to go about making a request and then just changing it to suit your particular needs. Okay, so let's have a look at something else. If we can clear this chat by clicking the new chat up here, we could ask ChatGPT to maybe write a short story. Write a short story about a lion and a witch. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, once upon a time in a far-off land. That's a good start. There lived a fierce lion named Simba, who ruled over the vast savannah with pride and power. And it's making a pretty good job of this, to be honest. Obviously it's plagiarizing from existing stories or movies. Regained the strength, and the witch was banished. So the witch has been banished. Excellent. The witch's name is Zara. Okay. So this is one of ChatGPT's strengths, because it is a text and language based chatbot, and so you'd expect it to be able to do this quite well. Again, we could click this regenerate response and it would come up with a slightly different story, but we're gonna ask it to can you rewrite the story but have a moral of the story being about honor. Let's see what it does with that. So it started off with once upon a time again in a far off land, and they always seem to be in a far off lands. The lions name is still Simba, and the witch is still called Zara. The witch used her magic to cheat, and Simba was defeated. His honor was tarnished. Oh no. Let's hope Simba makes a fight back. Yep, Simba emerged victorious, not by cheating, but by using its intelligence, courage, and sense of justice. He regained his honor. Phew, that's a relief. So we've changed the story slightly by inserting or asking ChatGPT to insert a moral of having honor. We can continue with this conversation and add something like, can you write the story again, and we'll keep the moral again with the moral, and oops, let me spell this correctly, and also about bravery. Can you write the story again with the moral and also about bravery? Let's see what it makes of that. It's having a good think. Maybe I've broken it. Aha, okay. Again, once upon a time in a far-off land lived a brave lion this time. So it's added the brave element right at the start. He was a leader of his pride and was respected by all the animals in the kingdom for his courage and bravery. So it's done a good job of inserting the bravery element of our request, and I'm sure further down it will encompass the moral of honor as well. Simba knew. Oh, okay, this time Simba is faced with a sorcerer called Zara and a dragon as well. Okay, so it's putting bravery, and I can't see moral, but I'm sure it's okay. The moral of the story is that true bravery is not about the size of one's muscles, but about the strength of one's heart and determination. It's about facing challenges head on and never giving up, even though the odds are against you. Okay, so it's managed to insert the bravery element, but I think it's forgotten about the moral being about honor. So maybe I worded it slightly incorrectly, but that just kind of highlights what you can do with a ChatGPT. As I say, these are conversations. It retains the information that you've typed in and the answers that it gives back, and then you can refine those responses. We can regenerate a response, so it'll go ahead and regenerate the last prompt that you entered, and it will rewrite this story, but it will be very similar, hopefully. And you can hit that regenerate button a number of times, and then it gives you the number of responses that have been generated, and you can toggle between the two or three responses that you get back. So it started again. Still off on a far land, and the lion's name is still Simba, and the wicked witch is still Zara. I don't think it's going to include a dragon in this one. So it slightly changed it from the previous response. Cool, let me stop this and we'll move on to something else. Okay, so we can get ChatGPT to do things like creating contracts as well. So if we type in something like create a curriculum for a software engineer. Let's see what this brings back. Create a curriculum vitae for software engineer. So there you go, it starts creating a CV. It puts in dummy information, so email address johndoe@email.com, phone number. It creates a summary, experienced software engineer with a strong background in developing and maintaining software applications, proficient variety of programming languages, etc. It lists out your education. Obviously you'd need to change all of this in terms of you'd have to put your own personal details in there, but it gives you the skeleton of a curriculum vitae. It does work experience, skills, certificates, and then references right at the bottom here. That's amazing, that is excellent. And we could also continue this conversation and we could say something like rewrite this curriculum vitae for a senior software engineer. Let's see what it's doing now. Okay, so again it's created the name, the contact details, summary, highly skilled and experienced senior software engineer now. So it's made a few changes. These drop it is still an it. It's not quite a he yet. It's dropping in the word senior where it can in order to differentiate between a software engineer and a senior software engineer. And I think it's padded out some of this work experience as well, and the references and certificates it's retained. We could continue this conversation and say create a cover letter for a senior, let me spell it correctly, senior developers job at a company called OpenAI. Okay, so it's started to create a skeleton cover letter for a potential job application at a company called OpenAI. So it's put in placeholders for your address, placeholders for OpenAI's hiring manager's name and address, and dear hiring manager, I'm writing to express my interest in the senior developer position at OpenAI. And it's done a pretty good job of defining what a senior developer might have in terms of skills and education and experience. You can literally just copy and paste this into a Word document, make a few changes at the top here, obviously make changes to your own relevant skill sets, stick your name in there and fire this off. You can also get ChatGPT to make changes to the results it produces. So if we scroll up slightly to one of the CVs here, so this has got a certifications part or section. If I copy that, we can get it to regenerate the CV by saying remove certification from curriculum. So it's going to reproduce that CV and it's going to leave out the certifications section. Education, it's done the summary, work experience. Skills and references. It's left out the certificate section. Okay, let's create a new chat. Okay, I want to show you maybe creating a will. So we've created a new chat, and if I type in create will, let's see what this produces. Let me type in create a will for a UK citizen. Okay, it's not able to create a legal document for me, and it's important that I seek legal advice. Okay, so I can't do a will. So those are some of the limitations. If I create a new chat, we can get a ChatGPT to entertain us, so we can get it to tell us a joke. Tell me a nerdy joke. Why was the computer cold? Because it's left its windows open. Excellent. Give me another. Let's try. Give me another. Give me another. Why do programmers always mix up Halloween and Christmas? Because October 31st equals December 25. Because Oct 31 equals decimal 25. Excellent. I'm going to give that a thumbs up. And one last one. We can't ask it not to tell us a joke about Chuck Norris. A joke about Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris doesn't use a computer because the computer does what it's told. Chuck Norris tells the computer what to do. Okay, tell me another. Chuck Norris can divide by I'm going to give that a thumbs up as well. Clearly Chuck Norris can divide by 0. Okay, So no more jokes, let's create another chat. And next I'm going to show you ChatGPT's summarization and keyword extraction abilities. So I'm going to paste in some text from GDPR. So initially I'm going to copy and paste. So I'm saying the following is from GDPR EU, simplify it for me into a couple of sentences, and then I'm going to copy in a section of GDPR text which I've taken from the GDPR website. So I'll copy that, paste it to there. So this ChatGPT should summarize this into a few sentences. So it's taken all of that text and just summarized it. And we can also get the chatbot to do things like pull out 5 most important words so it's taken out GDPR and EU data privacy and security. Excellent, that's amazing. We can continue this conversation and ask things like explain GDPR to me like I am 5 years old. So it's saying GDPR is like a set of rules that helps keep people's information safe on the internet and make sure that companies and websites are not allowed to take a share of people's personal information without their permission. I'm not too sure if a 5-year-old would understand that, but I think it's had a fair crack at attempting to summarize it. Let's try 3-year-old. Explain GDPR to me like I am 3 years old. GDPR is like a secret code that helps people informate. GDPR is like a secret code that helps keep people's information safe on the internet, just like you have a secret code to open your toy box. Okay, no, I don't think a 3-year-old would understand that, but it's had an attempt. So it's not perfect, but it does make the effort. We could also get it to do things like explain GDPR in less than 50 words. GDPR is a set of regulations that protect personal data of EU citizens. Excellent. One last thing before I wrap this up. I'm going to show you, let's clear this chat. Now I'm going to ask ChatGPT to provide 10 YouTube titles for videos about travel. Provide 10 YouTube titles for videos about travel. See if it can produce anything there. Here we go. backpacking Europe, my 3-month adventure exploring Japan's hidden gems, budget travel. That's absolutely amazing. The way it rattles off those suggestions is mind-boggling. Okay, we could do something like, no, let's not select that one. Road trip across the USA. Copy that, and we can say, give me 3 variations on this topic. Title. Driving across America, the Great American Road Trip, exploring the USA by car. Absolutely amazing. Okay, and let's see what else we can do. Let's do provide a script for driving across America. Copy that. There it goes. It's starting to produce a script. Opening shot of a car driving on a scenic road. Voiceover, are you ready for the ultimate American trip? Cut to a montage of different landscapes. Voiceover. That is truly impressive. I am totally impressed with that. Voiceover, so pack your bags, fill up the tank and join us on an unforgettable journey. Absolutely amazing. What else can we do with this? We can lengthen. I think we can lengthen sentences. If we go copy, lengthen the following sentence. So it's just padded that sentence out. We can also shorten. We can also shorten a sentence. So I'm just gonna copy that again, paste it, and change this to short. Shorten the sentence. Excellent. Can we translate? Translate into French. So here I didn't have to specify what to translate. ChatGPT retains or remembers the previous inputs and the results. So it's gone and translated this. I'm not going to use Google Translate to verify this because I'm pretty sure this translation is on point. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope you found this short video useful. If you have, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.